Hello, today we're going to talk about successfully managing cross-border compliance. I'm Jason Greaves, Senior Director of Merchant Compliance at Global Payments. I have over 19 years experience in the payment industry from various roles of risk management, card scheme compliance, and merchant compliance. Martha?
Thanks. I'm Martha Wilson, Senior Manager of Payments at TouchNet Information Systems. My background is really in building and implementing secure payment technologies. In my role at TouchNet, I get to work with the product team on how we roll out different secure technologies every day, which is really exciting. So today we're going to be talking about merchant compliance cross borders. A little bit of an overview of our roadmap that we're going to discuss. We're going to start with a company overview, learning a little bit about Global Payments and TouchNet. And then we're going to talk about challenges with domestic versus cross-border and how difficult that can be. Then we're going to go into tips and tricks to actually how to manage cross-border compliance, and then end with a few key takeaways.
Right. Global Payments provides acquiring and merchant services for over 100 countries. We are trusted by more than 3 million service provider companies, 1,300 financial institutions, and we partner with over 400,000 technical partners across 100 different industries. TouchNet, our higher education platform, is a great example of this as one of our strong divisions.
Yeah. So at TouchNet, we're a pioneer in delivering innovative financial technology for higher education institutions. For over 30 years, we've worked with colleges and universities to automate, integrate, and secure campus-wide commerce, payments, and credentials. So as you can see, we work with thousands of institutions in over 19 countries. And with that complexity, compliance can be challenging. So let's talk about some of those challenges. When you're looking at this screen, probably a few of these just jump off the page and really resonate with you as you're looking at these challenges. The one that jumps off for me is changing technology requirements. That happens every single day. Technology is constantly growing and changing to meet the demands of security requirements, new regulations, and trying to keep that competitive edge as you're moving forward into the market and trying to offer omni-channel support for a variety of payment methods. In higher education, you have to take every type of payment, from e-commerce, Modo, over the phone, to retail in person, and it becomes really challenging to manage all of the compliance around those different types of payment methods. Then you've got stringent privacy governance as well, which can be challenging to manage. In the US, you've got individual privacy acts across the different states that impact how you manage privacy and PII information. In Canada, you've got the Canada Code of Conduct, you've got GDPR as well. All of that adds another layer of complexity on how you manage your PCI DSS compliance. With that, you've also got a complex competitive landscape, multiple regions with inconsistent acquiring options. And then along with that, you also have to have support for local acceptance methods like China Union Pay, different methods or JCB that aren't just accepted everywhere. Outside of that, when you take that step back, really looking at this entire layered ecosystem of payments, it's a lot of challenges. So now that I've painted a pretty grim picture of all the challenges that we face, Jason, can you tell us some of the tips and tricks that we can use to manage cross-border compliance?
Yeah, navigating all those different challenges, especially between the regulations and then obviously the complex processing environments and with all the different acquirers and everybody, and just about anyone can certify almost to an acquirer these days with POS systems and everything. It creates an enormous roadmap to try and manage from a PCI DSS standpoint. So let's talk about some of the ways that we would recommend you to manage your PCI DSS. And if you look at this chart, it's a great, as it states there, pathway to success. Most importantly, I would point out would be the very first one in green. The tone of the business needs to come from your leadership. So you have to communicate your PCI DSS gaps and areas of opportunities and your goals with your leaders. So the top leaders of the company have a complete understanding of what you have to face and how you're going to manage that. And then most importantly, they need to communicate that all the way down to the rest of the business. And that sets the tone, as we say, which then helps you get the resources and personnel needed to help you manage all the PCI DSS environments.
Yeah.
Then know your environment and ensure everything follows the path and everything that you have set forth, and that your leadership, again, is communicating that entire environment. So know all those different processing methods that you mentioned, like a university. e-commerce, the gift store, everything. You have to know all of those methods and all the networks around those methods, and make sure you have a great understanding of your environment and your industry. And then, once you know that, you have to look at it from a risk management standpoint. Do a risk-based analysis. Identify the most vulnerable area that you are going to have to address to become PCI compliant. You can't leave those to the very end. And make sure, again, that everything's being communicated from the leaderships and you're using all the right resources. And that brings me to the last one, which is ask for help. Ask your acquirers for assistance. They've got vendors and partners that they can certainly use. They've got technology that they can help you use. Ask QSAs. Get a scanning vendor. Get network service providers. All those folks that can help you address some of the PCI DSS issues that you're going to face through your journey.
Yeah, so this one really resonates with me because in higher education, we work with level 4 to level 1 merchants. And a lot of times those merchants actually have campuses all over the world. So they might be headquartered in the US, but have locations all over the world. And it just reminds me of an example with a campus recently, or not recently, a couple years ago that we were working with. And they had been really trying to get PCI compliant. It had been a big challenge because of the complexity of their environment on campus. And they were a level 4 merchant. So it was hard to get that buy-in. When they took that to their leadership team on campus and they were able to get that buy-in from the top, suddenly they were able to become PCI compliant very quickly because they had that understanding, they had buy-in, and why the importance of PCI compliance. And then we were able to help them to that pathway of success through our partnership as their acquirer to become PCI compliant, which was really exciting.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So looking at some best practices to streamline compliance, and again, this goes for if you're a level 1 or a level 4 merchant, there are just some standard things that we want to do. Implementing fully certified technology is really important. That helps you reduce your scope. It helps you become PCI compliant a lot faster because it can help you shift some of the compliance requirements from yourself to a vendor or a third party. It helps reduce that scope, which is going to help make you PCI compliant much quicker.
Right.
Then knowing your acquirer. Your acquirer can offer a lot of advice and a lot of help to become PCI compliant as well. Not only do they help you with some tools typically, they're going to give you methods to become PCI compliant. They can even refer you to a trusted partner that understands your industry and the types of payments that you're taking. They're also going to help you become PCI compliant because they're the one that are responsible for reporting it. So working with an acquirer that you trust becomes really key as well. And lastly, organizing your merchant structure. I am an accountant by trade. Prior to coming into payments, I was an accountant at a payments company. And organizing your merchant structure is probably the most tedious one to do, but it is also really important. Not only is it going to help you get lower interchange costs because you're going to have payments properly routed through the network, it's also going to help you become PCI compliant a lot quicker because you're looking at your overall ecosystem properly. So then you can scope it properly. And instead of routing all of your transactions that are e-commerce and Modo and retail through one merchant account and building an SAQD out, which is really complicated, you can organize that so you can maybe reduce all of that to an SAQA or an SAQC or B, depending on how you're managing your point of sale systems. So there's a lot of benefit that you get from organizing that merchant structure, but all of those steps really feed together. You need to have that true partnership from technology to your acquirer to that structure of your merchant accounts that you really can take full advantage and help get to that roadmap that Jason took us through a little bit quicker.
Yeah, absolutely. If you accomplish all of those items, you will, as you said several times, reduce that PCI DSS responsibility. Partnering with the acquirer, I don't think we could say it enough times. Getting the right resources and vendors and vendor knowledge and experience and guidance is a key that will help you get through all this. And again, like you said, I think your last part was crucial. Consolidating everything, making sure that you're processing one in a secure manner, but in the most efficient manner as well. And that's part of what we said on the previous slide, know your environment and then take that risk-based approach.
Exactly.
So let's look at some key takeaways. Reputation is key to all businesses, obviously, and part of that in the credit card industry is securing your customers' credit card information, that business's customers' credit card data. Just think about it, if you go to a restaurant and you have a terrible experience, you're going to tell all of your friends how bad the dinner was or the service was or what have you. And the same thing, if your credit card was stolen from that same bad restaurant or a good restaurant, what have you, you're still going to also spread the word around to families and friends, and that can help or hurt the business's reputation.
Yep.
So ensuring that you're following PCI DSS secures that data, and taking all the steps that we've showed, the roadmap and everything that Martha and I have talked about, will really help you do that professionally or quickly and most efficiently. And in partnering with the trusted entities, we've said it a million times, I think, but it's ensuring that you have the right resources, the support from your leadership, all that will help you understand PCI DSS and prepare you for your entire journey and to meet that final path of success.
Definitely. I also wanted to point out the continually evolving technology, but also with PCI compliance, it's not just a checkbox. Making sure that it becomes business as usual, it's something that you're doing every day. It really helps, again, protect that brand reputation, because you're protecting your customers and your consumers and making sure that you're doing the right thing by their data, which is really important.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Being prepared, being ready for the changes, and making sure that you're ready to provide all the information properly to the stakeholders is the key as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much for joining, and we hope that you found this material helpful.